Good evening. Welcome to yoga. My name is Danielle. I want to thank you for joining me to this live stream Comeback Yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a great nonprofit organization that works with veterans and meets them where they're at. So that means providing classes at home. This is a level 2 class, and the only difference in a level 2 class versus the level 1 for me is instruction. There's going to be less instruction in a level 2 class. The intensity is about the same. So if you've ever taken a yoga class with me, you know that I cue 2 yoga blocks and a yoga strap for every practice so that we can make the practice accessible. And you don't have to fret if you don't have those things handy. You can use whatever you have around the house. You can use couch pillows or even bed pillows. If we're using the props to pad the joints, if we're using props to give you height, like to bring the floor closer to you, a sturdy book or even a photo album would work underneath your hands. And I don't even have a proper yoga strap anymore. I'm using a necktie. So you can use a belt, a necktie, a towel. I will cue the props. I will more than likely practice with the props. And they're just there if you want to include them in your practice as well. They're just there meant to be handy, but you don't have to use them. This might feel like a pretty typical yoga class, one that you've experienced many times before. But comeback yoga classes are taught from a trauma-informed perspective. And again, the difference lies in the instruction, in the way that we word things, and also sometimes in the little tools that we use. For instance, just take a moment, just 2 or 3 moments here to look around your mat, get associated with your mat, and just kind of begin to notice what's near your space. Notice where your exits are to your space. And then if there is something that you can do to make yourself 10% more comfortable, do that now. That might mean moving your yoga mat so that you are looking towards your exit space instead of having your back to it. If having your phone makes you feel comfortable, you can have it handy. Just have the phone facing down so it doesn't distract you as we begin to move and practice. So now that we're oriented to our space, we'll go ahead and get started. And tonight we're going to start in a child's pose. So that's going to be tabletop position to begin. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Send your hips toward your heels and then your forehead to rest down either to the floor, to one of your props, or you can do what I like to do. Make a little pillow out of your forearms. Rest your forehead there. Just begin to notice how you're breathing this evening. Tune into the quality of your breath. And if your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, start to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow, steady inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs, the back of your heart with air. And then open up your mouth. Sigh all of your air out. Do another like that. Inhale, fill up to the top. And exhale, sigh it out. Work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Keep the slow and the steady inhales, and then use your exhales to empty out entirely. Soften your muscles, the hinge of your jaw, and scan your body from head to toe. Just take note of any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore. And be mindful of those areas as we begin to move and practice. One more deep breath in, fill up to the top. Stay for that exhale, sigh it all out. Good. Look up at your hands. Bring the palms of your hands together, and then the forehead's going to come back down, and you're going to bring your hands behind your neck. You'll press down into your elbows here. You can even walk your elbows kind of away from you towards the top of the mat to really get a stretch to your triceps. And just depending on where you're tight, you might feel this also to the back of the neck, the space between your shoulder blades. And just notice with every inhale and exhale, hips continue to move towards heels. Chest melts closer to the floor. Going to take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, go ahead, release the hands down. Press up through hands and knees. And we're going to find tabletop, a nice neutral spine. So think about stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Your next inhale is cow pose. Belly lowers and gaze goes forward. Your exhale is cat. Round your spine. Take your gaze down. Good. Do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine for cat. Start to take these movements on your own breath rhythm. You can even stay a bit longer in one of the poses if it gives your spine a nice stretch. And you don't have to stay with the cat-cow breaths either. You can take other movements. You can circle your hips. You can look over your shoulders. There's really no right or wrong here. Just go where your body wants to go. If you find a tight spot, stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Good. And then you're going to come back to tabletop and reach the right fingertips up to the ceiling for a twist. And then circle your wrist in one direction, go the other way, and then we're going to thread the needle, right shoulder and temple come down. Good. Now you can keep that left hand in front of your face for more support, or start to walk the fingers towards the top of the mat for a deeper stretch. You can also take the left arm and wrap it around your waist for a half bind. Just start to tune into that space between your shoulder blades, maybe even the back of your neck, anywhere that might feel tight or tense in this pose. If there's any holding in your shoulders, try to soften. Good. Take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, left hand comes down, right arm comes open, and then right hand comes down. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let that go. And then reach the left fingertips up to the ceiling. Circle the wrist in one direction. Go the other way. And then thread the needle left shoulder and temple down. Right hand can stay in front of your face. You can walk your right fingertips forward for more sensation. Or you can wrap your arm around your waist for a half bind. Remember to stay with your breath here, with a slow, steady rhythm to breath. Allow every inhale and exhale to soften a bit through the upper back, the upper body. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, left fingertips go up. Left hand comes down. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let that go. And then we're going to find our first downward facing dog. So spread your fingers wide, press down into your palms, and then curl your toes. Send your hips high and press your thighs back. And it might feel nice to ease into the first one with movement. So go ahead and walk your dog, or maybe sway your hips from side to side. And really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times. Shake it no. Allow the crown of your head to be heavy. There's a slight tuck to your chin as you take your gaze past your knees. And then you're going to start to walk your hands back towards your feet. So you'll be at the back of your mat. You want to bend your knees as much as you need to here to either bring your hands down to the floor, or hands are going to reach up and grab for opposite elbows. You're still, the crown of the head is still heavy. You can do it in stillness. You can sway side to side. Doesn't matter which one you choose. Just kind of tune in. Ask yourself, does your body require movement right now? Or does it prefer stillness? Then bring your hands down to the floor. Keep that bend to your knees. Roll up to standing slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are the last to come up. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat. Good. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Hands by side and gaze are forward. We're going to start to link our breath with movement. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins and come back to that tabletop, flat back. And then exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale your arms up and overhead. And exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw a circle with your hands. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands to shin. Shine the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw a straight line to your heart. Good. We've got 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll just add on from there and pick up the pace a little. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Now, plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come up high on your toes. Shift forward to plank, the top of a push-up, and we're going to hold it here. On your exhale, we're going to come down to the mat. Now, before you come down, know you can always lower your knees down first. Everything comes to the floor. Tops of the feet are flat. And then inhale to a baby cobra. Lift up your chest, roll your shoulder heads back. And then exhale, come down. Press up to hands and knees. Find your downward facing dog. Hips go high, thighs press back. Good. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for that exhale. Let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, elongate your spine, and then exhale, fold over your legs, release. Inhale, arms up and overhead, and then on your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause here to stabilize, and then exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to a cobra pose. Press down to the tops of the feet. Like a wave, lift your chest and then loop your shoulders at the top. Exhale, come down. You can find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop. You choose. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale your hands to your shins, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. We'll do 1 more round. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, fold and release. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank and pause. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Tops of the feet are flat. Walk your fingers off the mat. Tent your fingertips down. And then press into your fingertips. Lift your chest up for a super cobra. And then exhale, come down. Bring your hands to your side. Find your downward facing dog any way you like. Take an inhale here as we hold it. Stay for that exhale. Let it go. Good. We're going to come on down to hands and knees. Sit back onto your heels and then just give your wrists a little roll. We're going to come back to tabletop and do a few postures from there. Lots of weight on the wrists. Pull back on the fingers with one hand. Do it on the other. And then we're going to come back to tabletop with nice warmed up wrists. Reach your left leg long. And then keep the toes curled and shift back and forth a few times. Now you're going to take your leg, cross it over to the right. Toes are still down. Look over your right shoulder. Bring your gaze to your big toe. Good. Take a nice deep breath here. On your exhale, bring your leg through center all the way over to the left, and then the foot's going to go flat. Now, you want your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Reach the left fingertips up to the ceiling. Bend your elbows, bring your left elbow, bring your left hand behind your head. Inhale, spin your chest open. Exhale, can you bring left elbow to right? Inhale, spin open. Exhale, curl and round. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale, left hand down, left knee in. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let that go. Good. Now the right leg goes long. The toes stay curled. Shift back and forth. This gives the back of your leg, your calf muscle, and the arch of your foot. Take your leg, cross it over to the left. Toes are still down. Look over your left shoulder. Bring your gaze to your big toe. Good. Take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, take the leg through center all the way over to the right. Left hand underneath left shoulder, right fingertips up to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, bring your hand behind your head. Inhale, spin your chest open. Exhale, right elbow to left. Inhale, elbow up towards ceiling. Exhale, curl and round. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, left fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand down, left knee in. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let it go. Good. We'll find downward facing dog. Hips go high, thighs press back. Inhale and reach your right leg high and back. On your exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Hold, hover, and round your spine like you would in cat pose. Inhale, right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, right foot to right thumb lunge. Good. Now, your back knee's going to come down, back foot's flat. On your next inhale, bring your arms up for a low lunge. On your exhale, get sturdy in the pose, okay? So press down firmly into both of your feet. Engage your legs. Tailbone gets heavy as hips scoop forward. Good. Now inhale, reach your fingertips up just a bit more. Exhale, elbows go wide, chest lifts. Inhale your hands forward and back. And then exhale, goalpost arms. One more. Inhale, forward and back. And then exhale. Elbows go wide, chest lifts, and your shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Inhale your hands forward and back. And then exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Good. Now I want you to bring both hands to the inside of your front foot. And walk your toes out to the edge of your mat. If you'd like, props can go underneath your hands here. Good. So as you turn your toes out to the edge of the mat, You're going to release your right hand past your right hip. So your chest is going to spin open to the side of the mat. And then on your inhale, sweep your top arm up and over your ear. And then on your exhale, twist open, gaze past your right. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, top arm up and over your ear. Exhale, twist open, gaze past your right thumb. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring your right hand back to the inside of your front foot. And then on your exhale, you'll shimmy your foot back to center. And we're going to take a half splits, and we're just going to pulse through the movements. It might feel nice to have blocks or props underneath your hands. So just bend deeply into the front knee, straighten the right leg any amount, and take your fingertips or your props with you as you go. At your own pace, bend into the front knee, straighten the right leg. Good. The next time you find your legs straighten any amount, I want you to pause. So you're going to have your fingers directly underneath your shoulder blades or the blocks underneath your shoulders, okay? And then think about keeping length in your spine from your tailbone out to the crown of your head. When you round your spine in this pose, it takes away to the stretch to the back of your leg. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bend into your front knee, plant your hands, and then you're going to lift your left leg up to a lunge. Good. Plant your hands and send the right leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, find your downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, hold, hover, and round your spine. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, left foot to left thumb lunge. Back knee comes down, back foot's flat. Inhale to your low lunge. And then on your exhale, get sturdy in the pose. Take a moment, settle in. Press down firmly into both feet, especially your big toes. This will keep your legs stable. Tailbone gets heavy, hips scoot forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows go wide, chest lifts. Inhale your hands forward and back. Exhale to go post arms. One more, inhale forward and back. And then exhale, elbows go wide, chest lifts. Inhale your hands forward and back. And then exhale your hands to the inside of your front foot. Wiggle your left toes out to center, just like that. And you're going to scoot your right leg back until you feel a stretch to the front of your right hip. If it helps, bring props underneath your hands. The right hand plants, the left arm is going to release past your left hip. Inhale, swing your top arm up and over your ear. Exhale, twist open. Gaze past left thumb. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, top arm up and over your ear. Exhale to twist open. Good. Bring your hands back and then wiggle your foot to center. We're going to take that pulse. Bend into your front knee. Straighten the left leg any amount. And then just keep going on your breath. Inhale to bend into your knee. Exhale to straighten any amount. Good. Use the movement. Check in. Notice how your low body is doing tonight, especially the backs of your legs, which is what we're targeting right now. The next time that your leg is straight any amount, I want you to pause. You'll walk your fingertips or your blocks directly underneath your shoulders. Think about pressing the left heel forward as you send the left hip back. And curl your left toes towards your left knee. Because once again, this will not only get the back of your leg, but the arch of your foot and your calf muscle. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend back into your front knee, release your blocks. Plant your hands and lift your right leg to a lunge. Send your left leg to a plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor and then stop. Good. Tops of the feet are flat. Bring your right hand in towards your right rib cage. Bring your left arm out to the side. And then you're going to roll over onto your left shoulder. Stack your legs and pause. Now, this might be enough sensation. You can stay here. You can take the top leg, bring it behind the bottom leg. You can keep the right hand down in front of your chest for more support, or right arm can wrap around your waist for a half bind. And if the sensation is building and you're starting to feel uncomfortable, as long as you can stay with your breath, if you can breathe through it, you're right where you need to be. If the sensation is too intense, you can put a prop underneath your temple, and that'll just kind of lessen the stretch to the front of your shoulder. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, and then it's going to be left hand in, right arm out, roll over onto the right shoulder, stack the legs and pause. You can stay. You can take the top leg, bring it behind the bottom leg, and the left hand can stay down, or it can wrap around your waist for that half bind. Think about how we walk around hunched over our devices all day, texting and typing. This is kind of the direct opposite movement of that. It might feel sticky. Stay with the breath, and if you need to, pad your temple with a prop. That'll lessen the stretch a little bit. Good. Take one more inhale, and on your exhale, we'll come through center. And then slide your hands by your side. Find downward facing dog any way you like. Good. Take an inhale and reach your right leg high and back. On your exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Look forward. Bring your right foot to your right thumb for a lunge. The back heel will drop, and then you're going to come up to a warrior one. Once you get up, adjust your stance. Wiggle your right foot to the edge of your mat. Good. Seal the pinky edge of your back foot down. Take your gaze forward, and then we're going to add a pulse. Inhale, take your gaze up. Exhale, sweep your hands to the back of the mat. Bow over the front of your leg. Good. Inhale, strong legs, warrior one. And then exhale, sweep and bow. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come up, warrior one, pause. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg, and then I want you to shorten your stride by about a third. You want your hip points pointing forward. We're setting up for pyramid pose. This is another pose where props on either side of your foot might feel nice as we fold forward. So bring your hands to your hips, press down firmly into your feet. Take an inhale. On your exhale, start to hinge forward at your hip creases. Good. And then you're going to bring your hands down either to frame your front foot or hands come to blocks and on any height. You're going to dangle your torso over that front leg. The front leg is straightened, best to your ability. So it might look more like this with more of a bend to the knee. That's okay. Take your gaze down. Take your neck out of the pose. And as the sensation starts to build, just stay with your breath. Slow and steady inhales to fill up. Full, complete exhales to let go. Good. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. And then on your exhale, you're going to walk your blocks over to the left and pivot your feet until all 10 toes point to the left side of your mat. You can bring your props with you if you would like. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold over your legs. So again, hands can go to props if you'd like. You can scoot them off to the side and bring your hands down. Take a soft micro bend to your knees and shift all of your weight to the ball mounds of your feet. Tailbone is high, crown of the head relaxed. Start to send your breath anywhere that feels tight or tense or sore. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, we're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat and pivot our feet until we're in our lunge. Okay, so that means left heel pops up towards the ceiling. Plant your hands and send your right leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale and reach, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward. Left foot to left thumb lunge, back heel drops, and then you're coming up to a warrior one. As soon as you get up, adjust the stance. Wiggle your left foot to the side of your mat. And then press your right hip forward as you send your left hip back. Inhale, take your gaze up. Exhale, sweep and bow. Good. Inhale, strong legs, warrior one. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Pause. Exhale, hands to hips, straighten your front leg. Shorten your stride by about a third. Hip points point forward. Get your props ready if you think you're going to need them. Hands to hips, inhale, press down into your feet as you reach the crown of your head, up. And then exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Eventually, you'll bring your hands down to frame your front foot or maybe to props. There's a soft bend to the front knee. Dangle your torso over the front leg. Allow the crown of your head to be heavy. Inhale, lift up halfway and pivot onto the ball mount of your right foot. You'll walk your hands this time to the right and pivot your feet till they face the right side of the mat. But I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Now, take an inhale as we hold it. And then on the exhale, we're coming up to that flat back. Plant your left hand down and twist your right arm open. Good. Come back to center. Plant your left hand down. Twist your right arm open. Come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat. Pivot your feet until you're in your lunge. Plant your hands left leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale, come up high in your toes, shift to plank, pause here. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Let's do it again. Inhale, plank and pause. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, lower down to the floor. All right, now for this one, you might want to have one prop handy where you can reach it. Walk your right fingertips forward. Tent the fingertips down like spider legs. And then you're going to slide the left arm underneath the right until your elbows cross. The hands go as wide as they can. And then you're going to hook your chin to your elbows, to the crooks of your elbows. Or you're going to rest your forehead down on a prop. You might find it interesting to try to breathe this way, with arms crossed in front of you. But if you think about it, you're lying on your belly, so you can still feel that breath. You might notice when you inhale, your belly rises underneath you. When you exhale, belly lowers and relaxes. Take an inhale. On the exhale, take your gaze up, roll over onto your left shoulder, and undo the cross of your arms. And then the left fingertips go forward. The right arm slides underneath until both elbows cross. Hands go as wide as you can make them. You'll hook your chin to the crooks of your elbows or place a prop underneath your forehead. Notice the rise and the fall of your breath underneath you. It might feel weird to try to breathe with your arms crossed in front of you, but you still have that connection to breath underneath you. Slow, steady inhales make the belly rise. Full, complete exhales make the belly relax and lower. All right, take an inhale. On your exhale, look forward. This time you're rolling over onto your right shoulder. You'll release your hands and then bring your hands down to your sides. Just allow your shoulders a little brief rest. Bring the right cheek down. Stay with the breath. Now bring your left cheek down. Get a nice even stretch to your neck. Okay, take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, you'll take your forehead to center, slide your hands by your side. Go ahead and press up to hands and knees. And then you're going to take a seat and give your legs a little shake. Good. So we're going to bring our feet wide and take a straddle pose. Now, with this pose, what I like to do is take my hands behind my hips, lift up a little bit, and when you come down, you might be able to bring the legs a bit more wide into that V shape. Now, bring your hands, tent them on either side of your hips, and just find a nice tall spine. Think about pressing your sitting bones down into the floor. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And this might be where your work lies, just keeping a nice tall spine in this shape, allowing a stretch to happen to the backs of your legs. Flex your toes towards your knees to really get a stretch here. But if you want to deepen the sensation, you're going to start to hinge forward at your hip creases with a flat back and start to walk your fingertips forward. Now, this is where props come in handy. This is not an easy pose for me. So even though I can bring my forearms down, I would not be able to maintain this shape without the help of props to bring the floor closer to me. So just deepen as you'd like. Walk the fingertips forward, let the spine round. You can maybe bring your hands or your forearms down to props. But once you get yourself settled into the fold, take your gaze down. Let your spine round a little bit. You always want to enter the fold with a flat back, but once you're there, let it round a little bit. Notice where you're holding your stress. Is it the back of your neck or the space between your shoulder blades? It might be your low back or your hips. Wherever that tension is, just try to soften. Try to soften any physical holdings in your body by using your breath. Slow and steady inhales to fill up. full and complete exhales to let go. All right, take one more inhale. And then slowly on the exhale, you're going to walk your fingertips back and lift up. And bring your legs together. Give them a little shake. And then windshield wiper your knees back and forth. That's a nice release to your low back and your hips, especially if you felt tension there when we were holding that pose. We're going to come down to our backs. And we'll stay there for the rest of the class. But I want you to take at least one block with you. As you come down to the floor, you're going to bend your knees and bring your feet flat. And then lift up your hips and place a prop to your low back and your hips. You want to make sure your sacrum is supported. That's that diamond shape in the middle of your low back. And then once you get yourself situated, if you notice you have tension in your low back and your hips, you can walk your feet wide to the edge of your mat. Or you can keep your feet at hip width. Feel your feet press down into the floor. Feel your hips get heavy on your prop. Feel your shoulder blades spread and widen beneath you. And then the back of your head, the base of your skull, gently supported by your mat and by the floor. What can you soften? What can you let go of? You can stay just like this with your knees bent and your feet flat, or start to bring your knees in towards your chest, and then you'll straighten your legs up towards your ceiling. Remember, you're straightening your legs best to your ability. Knees might be bent like this. Maybe it looks like this. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to look a little different here. If you feel wobbly on your block, you can hug it for support, or your prop, whatever you're using to lift the hips. Otherwise, just rest your hands by your side and enjoy that sense of calm it brings when you reverse your blood flow. This is a really good pose to do right at the end of class because it gets us ready for our last pose, our rest pose. And then slowly float one foot down to the floor. Allow your other foot to follow. And then you can lift your hips up off your prop. Scoot that off to the side and hug your knees into your chest. It might feel nice to sway side to side. You can draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet. Just taking movement here to give your low back a little massage, a little release. Good. And then release the knees. Let the legs go long. We're going to come into our final posture, our rest pose. Take a moment here. Shift your hair, your body, your clothes. Get as comfortable as you can in this position. For some of us, that means legs long. If it's more forgiving on your low back to bend your knees and bring your feet flat, do that. And then you want to return to that natural and spontaneous breath, the natural and spontaneous breath that enters your body and leaves your body with no effort. Feel how the floor and the mat supports your body. Back of your head gently presses down into the floor. Feel the weight of your shoulders underneath you. Feel the weight of your glute muscles. Feel your heels press down into the floor. You are supported. What can you soften? What can you let go of? Now, if you have more time to devote to this rest pose, I recommend another 5 to 10 minutes here. But if you're ready to be guided out, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Sway your head from side to side. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll all the way over to your left or your right side. Just pause there. And then use the strength of your top arm to press up to a seat. Once you get up to seated, bring the palms of your hands together. Press your thumbs into your sternum and feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. I want to thank you so much for joining me for yoga this evening, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care.